Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Bricker Boom, and today marks three different firsts for this channel. First of the firsts, this is the first time I've played through Pokemon Y, and despite doing some homework for it, I am woefully unprepared. Second, it's my first time using a Dragon type for any of these runs, and finally, this is my first time using a pseudo-legendary Pokemon for these runs. Don't worry, there will be more of all of these in the future, but with this being my first run-through of a game that I haven't played, I chose a pseudo-legendary mostly to give myself a slightly easier time, at least I hope. Now, to take a look at the stats, we're starting off with Goomy and evolving through like normal, because why not? Goomy has a base stat total of 300, which is fine, I guess. Dragons in their first form are typically pretty squishy, so honestly, I'm not super surprised. By the time it gets to Goodra, it has a base stat of 600, which is the highest that we've used. The problem is, most of that is allotted to special defense. We have a decent attack stat, and special defense is pretty good, but our speed and physical defense isn't great. So hopefully as the game goes on, we get hit with more special moves than we do physical. Now, the problem with this particular gym is that it's a gym that Fairy was introduced, which is a great typing, especially against dragons. And one of the gym leaders is a Fairy-type gym leader. We've also got some Elite Four Pokemon with a Dragon type, and a Fairy type, and a champion with those typings, or at least certain moves. So I fully expect this to be a huge problem, which is why we're here. Because, I mean, listen, I made my choice. I'm okay with it. To look at the rules, I can only use Goomy to the Goodra line in battle. I can catch other Pokemon if required, but they're only for HM use, or if there are any required double battles like Tate and Liza. I don't know if that'll happen, but we'll find out. Lastly, I do allow for rare candy use, and after the beginning of this run, well, let's just dive into it. We replace Chespin with Goomy. This will give the rival primarily Fennekin, which shouldn't be too bad of a problem because the rivals typically aren't. The starters being different is the only thing that Bashumi has done as far as I know, but we'll see as we play through the game. From my understanding, it's literally just a cosmetic on this screen. They'll auto-correct back to what they are supposed to be after we do this. Now, we fight the rival, who sends out Froakie, and we basically trade back and forth, but we do manage to stay healthy-ish thanks to Absorb, however weak it may be. After he uses Growl so many times, it makes sense to finish it off with Absorb, giving us a fairly easy victory. Now, here's where the rare candy thing comes into play. I spent about 30 minutes trying to import them as soon as I can, but I wasn't able to until after the first gym. I had to max out the dollars to buy them from the one gent in the Pokemon Center. If there is an easier way, by the way, please let me know in the comments below, because this run was a nightmare at first. But from here, we head to Route 2, and this is where the first of many issues begin. Goomy is a very physically defensive and all-around weak Pokemon because, again, it's a pseudo-legendary type at the end. Due to this, we can't take on the mandatory trainers and effectively win, let alone the ones that are on the route ahead. How do I know? I barely beat the first trainer, got to the forest, forgot to save, got beat immediately by another trainer, and then had to do it all over again and kept losing. After a little bit of leveling, we are able to make it through Santaloon Forest. Last thing I do want to apologize for, since this is my first time, even with the homework I've done, they don't exactly provide pronunciation guides. So if the words that I'm saying or the pronunciation is off, sorry, kindly correct me, because comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. When we get to Santaloon City, we visit the Pokemon Center, and all too soon, we're heading right to the gym. Do I think that's gonna go well? Absolutely not, because there are times where we're getting beat down by just the trainers in the gym, but fighting against them does allow us to level up faster than going back to the forest and trying there, which we end up having to do. Anyway, Viola is up first, and she sends Surskit out first, which is level 10, same as us, not too bad. It starts by doing Rain Dance, and we hit it with Absorb. Bubble does a small bit of damage, and then Quick Attacks as we switch to Tackle. It uses Bubble again, and we retaliate with the same, trying to lower its speed. We go to Tackle again, and it heals up. We continue tackling, but unfortunately our health is dwindling quick, even if it just uses Bubble, but we do take it out. But we only have 4 HP left when Vivillon comes out, and that takes us out almost immediately. From here, we start a long line of many losses. We try every couple of levels, and unfortunately, unless there is a way I didn't realize, we just can't get rare candies yet like I normally would. So I have to grind the good old-fashioned way, and a little over 2.5 hours later, we try again now that we're at level 17. I don't know how people like Madry Bread can just grind for hours on end, because just these 2.5 hours, I thought that I was going to lose my mind. By the way, check out Madry Bread. He had a rough end of year last year with some sickness and everything, so make sure to check out his channel if you haven't yet. If you're watching my content, you probably already have. Anyway, now at level 17, as always, Surskit is out first, and it still outspeeds us and uses bubbles. We retaliate with Absorb. Now that Absorb gives us any health back that it takes, that's basically our main source of attacking to keep us healthy, with the occasional tackle thrown in. It doesn't take long until it goes down and Vivillon is next. We trade tackles for a little while, and it uses Infestation when we're down to 20 HP to start chipping away at us further. Thankfully, the potion was used on Surskit, so we're finally able to bring Vivillon down with just a few HP remaining. My god. I don't think I've taken this long to get past the first gym since the Plusle and Minun run. From here, we do a little traveling, get lost on a hedge maze, pick on a Professor Sycamore for being a Gen 1er, and finally get access to rare candies. Truthfully, I didn't realize how spoiled I was until doing this run, but it's fine. In the cafe, we're told a little bit about the plot and head off to Route 5, then head to Campfire Town. Nothing to see here except an ominous mansion right to the north of town. It's fine. We find out a sleeping Snorlax and immediately have to do some fetch quests, another hedge mage, a sick flute solo, and a battle where a giant tries to take on Mabibi, and we're ready to move on. As we get to Silage? I'm gonna go with Silage Town. Even the gym leader plebs are once again giving us trouble. We do have to level up, but we do make sure to fight through each and every trainer, because I'm finding in this, the more that we gain just naturally, the better off that we're probably going to be. But soon enough, it is time to try our luck against Grant. Grant sends out Amara first, who immediately takes us down with one shot. We try this battle again and again, but Takedown is wrecking us. We try this battle every few levels, and we keep getting wrecked. With this, we do level up to 40 to try again after evolving into Sliggoo. I do apologize, the footage for the evolution got lost, so just use your imagination for a few moments. There you go. The battle opens up with us using Return to take it a little above half, and it hits us with Thunder Wave. Next turn, it takes us all the way down to 50 HP with one move, and we take it down with Dragon Breath. Tyrunt is next and bites us, but we get paralyzed. Another bite takes us to 7 HP, and we're paralyzed again. We then go down to its third attack. Next attempt, we open up with Dragon Breath to bring it below half, and we get hit with Thunder Wave again. A takedown brings us to 56, and we stay paralyzed as the leader potions up. We avoid a takedown, thankfully, and take it down with Muddy Water. Tyrunt is out and hits us hard with Bite, but another Muddy Water graciously connects, and we finally take the second badge. Our defense is still paper thin, and it took forever to get to this point. I'm hoping once Sliggoo evolves into Goodra, it'll be a bit easier, but I am having my doubts. I've been, with these challenge runs, I am trying to show a few more lost attempts, especially if I have to level up a bit or evolve. if you prefer that type of style, I know I'm asking you guys to do a lot of homework, but I've been doing these for a few months now, and the more feedback I have, the better off I can be. Let me know what type of style you prefer, because I want to make the content as best as I can for all of you. We run into Karina again, and battle her Lucario. It's not a difficult battle, because we have Muddy Water. We make it to Route 11, then the cave, then on to Shalor City, where we visit the Mega Guru. Also, I want to apologize up front. If I've missed anything or you feel there's something major I missed, please let me know in the comments. This is my first time playing the game overall, so there's things that I'm probably going to miss. As I find out more about the game, I'm sure I'll pick up more on the battles, but this game just seems very long in comparison to every other game. So, yeah, I'm going to be leaving out, like, playthroughs with the grunts and everything. The usual. Moving on. We battle Serena after some more story. She sends out Meowstic and flinches us. We use Dragon Breath and paralyze it, as it uses Disarming Voice. We use Return to finish it off. Absol's next, and we open with Dragon Breath and get bit in return. A Muddy Water brings it below half, and we get hit with a crit as well. Light Screen wears off, thankfully, so we can take it down in time for Brexen. We use Muddy Water for a clean one-shot, and that's that. Next up is Shalor Gym, which is a fun design. I don't know how I feel about the roller skates in general as a new mechanic added into the game, but as a gym design for kind of a one-off thing, I actually really like this, and I wish the other Pokemon games would do something similar where they make it so you have to use the items that you've picked up. Karina first sends out Mienfoo, and we open with a Dragon Breath as it uses Power-Up Punch. It potions up, and thankfully Return is enough to one-shot it before the raised attack stack can bury us. Hawlucha is next, and we use Dragon Breath to bring it to half, and it brings us to yellow with a Hone Claw boosted flying pose. Machoke is last, and we take it to yellow with Return as it uses Rock Tomb. Thankfully, another Return is enough to take it out, winning us the badge. We go-goat ourselves to the next town and get challenged by Holotape, and take a train to the next gym battle. But first, Serena. Again. Meowstic is up, we hit it hard with Return. Next turn is Dragon Breath, and we get hit with Disarming Voice. It gets brought to a sliver, and then we're able to take it down next turn. Absol comes out, we take it down with 2 turns, and last up is Brexen, who also goes down to a single Muddy Water. These rival battles are a little too frequent for my liking, and there's just so many. From there, it's time to fight Ramos, who's carrying a gigantic set of shears. Jumpluff is first, and we take it to yellow as Leech Seed boosts our attacks, thanks to... Try saying this 5 times fast. Yellow as Leech Seed boosts our stats thanks to Takes it to yellow as Leech Seed boosts our stats thanks to Sap Sipper. I'm not even going to bother cutting that. Next attack, we're able to take it out with Return, and when Go-Goat comes out, it hits hard with Bulldoze twice before we're able to take it out with some returns, but our speed is down, and it just healed up. We get hit with Takedown before we finally manage to take it down with only 16 HP remaining. Weepin' Bell hits us for a very weak attack before we one-shot it, and finally win the badge. Taking the slip and slide down, it's time to move on. We bully a Team Flare member, grab a key, head into the power plant. We make our way through the grunts, and in no time at all, it's time to fight the admin. He sends out Houndoom first, and we should have healed. We take Houndoom to red, and it hits us with a weak beat up. And next turn, we take it out. The next Flare member, Aliana, sends out Maina, and we use Dragon Breath as it uses Scary Face. It uses Swagger, and we break through the confusion and knock it out with Dragon Breath. After that, it's time to head to Lumiose City to watch the tower get lit fam before we go to fight Clement, who's basically Gizmo from Teen Titans. Emolga's up first, one of my favorite Pikachu clones, and we open with Dragon Breath to bring it to red. It potions up, and we use Return, followed by Dragon Breath to take it out. Magneton is next, and we use Dragon Pulse, and it uses Electric Terrain. Dragon Pulse brings it to red, and Thunderbolt takes a small chunk of our health. Clement potions up, and we bring it to yellow, then red again as Mirror Shot brings us to yellow. We finally take it out as the electricity disappears, and Heliolisk is next. Dragon Pulse takes it to yellow, and we're getting whittled down pretty quick, but a second Dragon Pulse takes it out to win the battle. We walk into the cafe to see Sycamore and Lysander staring dreamily into each other's eyes, and then fight Serena in a playground, making all the children nearby cry. As always, Meowstic is out, and it uses Light Screen immediately while we hit Muddy Water, then Return to knock it out. Absol's out and uses Quick Attack, and we paralyze it with Dragon Breath. Dragon Pulse brings it to yellow as it stays paralyzed. It uses Quick Attack, then we knock it out. Last up is Delphox, who does a small chunk of damage as we take it to yellow. Mystical Fire keeps lowering special attack, and it switches to Psybeam before we knock it out. Next up is Laver City? Laver? I don't know. Next up is Laver City, and we go to the gym, and this one is actually really concerning. This has a bunch of fairy types, and Valerie is no slouch, but let's see what happens. Mawile is out first, and we use Muddy Water to bring it to red as it uses Crunch. Valerie potions up, and we take a small chunk, then bring it to red as it uses Iron Defense and gets potioned again. This time, Return does very little, and once again it survives, hits us with Crunch, and then finally goes down. Next is Mr. Mime, and we smack it with Return as it uses Light Screen before finally going down. Last is Sylveon, my favorite of the evolutions, and we take it to a little above yellow and get hit with Cute Charm, then down to 1 HP, then Quick Attacked. We try this about 7 more times, but unfortunately it ends the same, so we do gain a few levels and then try again. Mawile comes out, and we use Return to take a small chunk of health as we get hit with Crunch. We switch to Muddy Water and manage to take it out. Mr. Mime is next, so we take it to red with Return, then it uses Light Screen. It potions up, and we keep going back and forth with Return and potions before finally taking it down. Sylveon is a problem due to Cute Charm and Dazzling Gleam, but we do manage to break through the Infatuation to land a much-needed crit to have us finally win the badge. Without the crit, we might have lost again. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not good with the whole damage calcs. I know there are a lot of people that are really good at it. I am not one of them. From there, we go to the Pokeball Factory and make our way through the floor to fight an admin who sends out Scraggy. We use Return to take it out with a crit, and Houndoom is next. We use Muddy Water and take it out, and that's that. Next up, which is a 2-on-2. I'm not complaining about it because we do have help. We smack Liepard with Return and take it out next turn. Manectric uses Crunch on us, then gets taken out with our Retaliation. Thanks, Serena, I guess. Through another city and through an icy cave, and guess what? More Team Flare. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to cover this battle because this script is probably going to be long anyway. I'm on page 4 and looking through the rest of my notes. I have about 4 more pages to go through, so we're just going to go ahead and skip this. I know that by now I probably could have covered it with me talking, but if I covered every Flare and Rival battle, it would be a 3-hour video. So we're just moving on to Anistar. We get another challenge from our rival. However, I think it's time to finally go ahead and let Sliggoo get to its final form of Goodra. As far as I know, with looking at the stats, it's been a while since I have. It looks like we've learned just about everything we can in this form, so we go to Goodra and take our newly evolved dragon to go see Serena. As Meowstic comes out, we get flinched and take it to yellow with Return, then take it down with another. Delphox is next, and we use Muddy Water for the one-shot. Next up is Absol, and we take it out with Dragon Pulse, and last is her new Jolteon that goes to yellow with a single Dragon Pulse, then knocked out by the next. Now it's time for the Psychic Trainer Olympia, who sends out Sigilif first. We hit it to red, and it uses Light Screen. It gets potioned, and we take a small chunk of health with Dragon Breath as Dragon Pulse brings it further. The Reflect goes up, and we get smacked with a Soft Psychic, and it gets healed up again, and the Light Screen wears off, allowing us to finally take it out. Slowking is next, and we take it to yellow as it uses Calm Mind, and Reflect wears off. Another Dragon Pulse takes it to red as we get yawned, and we use Return to take it out as we fall asleep when Meowstic comes out. Thankfully, Meowstic isn't super powerful because we do send some time snoozing as it sets up Calm Mind and kind of beats us around a little bit. We paralyze it with Dragon Breath. We are down to 99 HP from its attack and use Dragon Pulse to take it down to win us the battle and the badge. We find the hideout in Lysander Cafe, which is literally the worst name for a hideout. Once in Lysander Labs, we start by facing Lysander. Mienfoo is first, and we miss Muddy Water as High Jump Kick hits hard. We miss again as it uses Swords Dance, and we take it out with Return before it can hurt us more. Gyarados is next, and we hit it with Return as it uses Outrage to bring us to 11. We use Dragon Pulse to bring it to red, and then we faint. Next attempt, we start with Return to take out Mienfoo first thing, and Gyarados is next. We use Dragon Pulse to bring it above half, and Outrage brings us to 15. We use another Dragon Pulse and knock it out as Murkrow comes out. Thankfully, a single attack is enough to take it out. Pyroar is next, and Fingies crossed, and the Muddy Water connects to take it out, earning us a very slim victory. From there, we lay waste to the grunts and the few admins that get in our way and take far too long on this, like an embarrassing amount of time on this puzzle. We face Mabel and Houndoom as sent out first, who thankfully goes down to Muddy Water. Weavile's next, and we take it to red with one move, then down the next as he uses Ice Shard for a decent chunk of damage. Grabbing the elevator key from her, we continue on. We receive more plot, press a button that doesn't really matter, and a lot of buildings get knocked over in some truly beautiful animation. And we then break into Team Flare's headquarters, where it's time to face Lysander again. Now, Mienshao, I hope I'm saying that right, is out, and we hit it hard with Return, and it returns some damage with a high jump kick. We knock it out, and next up is Gyarados. We switch to Dragon Pulse to bring it to yellow, and we get taken out. Take two. We hit Mienshao with Dragon Pulse for a clean one hit, so we have a lot more health for Gyarados. We hit it with Dragon Pulse to yellow. It uses Outrage to bring us to yellow. Thankfully, the next Dragon Pulse takes it out, and it's time to cross our fingies again as Muddy Water hits and lands to knock out Honchkrow's last, and we smack it hard with Dragon Pulse for another victory. We go through the rest of the hideout, gather up Yveltal, and this, honestly, is the worst part of the game in my opinion. We have so many back-to-back Lysander battles that does not feel organic like it did with Giovanni, or even the Magma people, and even that was quite a bit. It doesn't help that it forces us to catch Yveltal, and then it puts the Pokemon in front of the party, meaning we have to take a forced hit when we switch out because of the stupid chicken. Due to this, we lose this fight easily a dozen times before we're just forced to level up just to be able to survive some hits. In this instance, I'm not going to cover the lost attempts because, one, it's already going to be a long video. Two, if you've watched any Nuzlocke or solo attempts of this particular game, you already know that this is probably going to happen. I'm done complaining about it for now. At level 70, we face off against Mienshao and get hit with Acrobatics, thankfully. When it uses high jump kick, it takes a lot more. Acrobatics has tended to be a little bit on the squishier side, thankfully. Dragon Pulse takes it out in one shot, and Pyroar is next. We use Muddy Water to one-shot it, and Honchkrow is next, who also goes down to a single shot. Last is Gyarados, and this one is scary because it Mega Evolves. We use Dragon Pulse to bring it to above half, and Outrage takes us down to 6 HP. And just when I think we're going to have to try again, the next attack gets a high roll on the damage and takes it down. Grabbing leftovers on the way because I think we'll need it, we continue on with our gym badge journey. And with all that out of the way, and I know I've been complaining a lot, and I apologize, but this is just a quick reminder that you should totally like and subscribe to the channel. We're working hard on making this full time, and I would love to be able to continue making content for you all. Also, if you haven't, join the Discord, follow on Twitch, all the typical content creator messages. And I know I've been trash talking it a lot, but I want to hear, even if it's this one, what your favorite Pokemon game is. For me personally, I really like Heart Gold and Soul Silver despite the very obvious level flaws and the Team Rocket plotline being a little bit slow paced. But from there, we face and beat all our rivals on the bridge, which we can now move on. But, I mean, we're an over-leveled dragon. Did you really think we were going to have any trouble? It's fine. We immediately go to Snowbell City. This will probably be another rough battle given the fact he's an ice trainer, but there's only one way to find out. We find him sulking in a forest playing with some Pokemon, and then we go to the gym. Wulfric starts off with Abomasnow and has Snow Warming, which sets up Hail immediately. We then hit it with Dragon Pulse and get smacked with Ice Beam. Thankfully, Leftovers at least negates the hail damage, and next turn, we're able to take out Abomasnow. Cryogonal is next, and we bring it to half with Dragon Pulse as we get confused and smack ourselves. Next turn, we Dragon Pulse to take it out as well, and this is actually going better than I thought it would. Avalugg, comes out, and we smack ourselves as it uses Curse. The hail stops so we can start regaining health back, but we smack ourselves again as it curses again. We use Dragon Pulse to bring it to a sliver, then Avalanche immediately takes us out. Unfortunately, we need a couple levels due to Avalugg surviving and then immediately decimating us with Avalanche. So, at level 75, we try again and hit Abomasnow with Dragon Pulse and get smacked back with Ice Beam like before. We take it out next turn. Then Cryogonal's next, who confuses us, and as always, we smack ourselves in confusion. It uses Ice Beam, and we break out of confusion to take it out. The hail stops and Avalugg is out, and without confusion, we're free to attack, and we're able to take it out in one turn to win the badge. After that, it's time for the League, and I actually feel decent about our chances. As we approach the Elite Four and kind of get into the main area, I have to admit, I really like this idea. The fact that you can choose whichever one you fight first is really cool, and it's a good concept to be with a strategy. Wow. Guys, I've been recording for like 8 hours today. Because I work on multiple videos at once. It's fine. After that, it's time for the League, and I feel decent about our chances. As we approach the Elite Four, I have to admit this is a really cool idea. I like the fact that you can choose whichever one you fight first. Now, as for me, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I just blindly choose a room. There is no strategy involved. See, I brought it back. Malva is the first one I choose, and, well, we have Muddy Water, so as long as it doesn't miss, it's pretty easy. We're level 79 due to fighting the trainers, and we have leftovers. From there, we basically begin tearing through her team using Muddy Water to destroy each Pokemon, only taking one hit at the very beginning. After that, we go to Siebold? And we mess up a bit. First off, I accidentally don't hit record until about a dozen attempts in, and I had saved inside the room, and accidentally brought my full party with me, so it's hard to wipe out. So unfortunately, we're at level 79, and here's how it goes. Siebold sends in Klotzer, and we use Dragon Pulse to bring it to yellow, and it retaliates with the same move. We manage to take it out next turn with Return, and leftovers are returning a little bit of health. Starmie is out next, and we smack it to half with Return as it uses Light Screen. Next turn, we hit it with Dragon Breath to paralyze and buy a little bit of Light Screen time. Unfortunately, a full restore is used as we hit it with Dragon Breath to half and paralyze it again. This time, we hit it with Return to knock it out just in time for Light Screen to wear off as Gyarados is sent out, and we hit it with Return as it begins dancing up a storm. From there, it's a battle of luck again as we hit it with Dragon Breath to paralyze it, and it stays fully paralyzed, letting us take it out with the second attack. Barbaracle is last, and we use Dragon Pulse to bring it to yellow as the Stone Edge hits hard with a crit. The next Dragon Pulse takes it down to finally win us the second member of the Elite Four. Third is Drazna, and I love her design. She looks so kind. She sends out Dragalge first, and we use Dragon Pulse to take it out. As long as we attack first, I have a pretty good feeling that this is going to be an easy battle. Altaria also goes down to a one-shot, and so does Noivern. Last is Druddigon, one of my least favorite designs, but thankfully we don't have to look at it too long because guess what? Another shot takes it down. Finally is the Steel-type trainer Wickstrom, who starts with Klefki, who starts with Spikes, which isn't a problem, and we smack it with Muddy Water. Torment makes this battle an actual nightmare, not being able to use the same attack twice, but it's fine. We knock out Klefki as Probopass comes out. We hit it with Dragon Breath, and it hits us with Flash Cannon that lowers defense. We can now use Muddy Water and take it to red, and it hits us with Flash Cannon again, but no defense drop. Probopass gets a full restore as we chip it with Dragon Pulse and then use another Muddy Water to take it down. Aegislash is next, and this Pokemon is an absolute nightmare. It uses Night Shield to waste time, makes our first attack useless, and then it switches back and forth between stances. On top of that, we also have that annoying Torment going on. We do eventually manage to paralyze it with Dragon Breath, but it hits us hard with Iron Head. From here, it's just switching back and forth as it keeps using Iron Head and its protection moves, so by the time Scizor comes out, we stand no chance. On attempt number 13, Klefki sets up spikes and we smack it with Muddy Water, then it gets healed up. We use Return to chip at it. It uses Torment naturally, and we begin to take it out with Muddy Water. Probopass is next. We use Dragon Pulse as it uses Flash Cannon. We switch to Muddy Water to take it out. The annoying Aegislash is out, and we hit it with Dragon Breath as it uses Iron Head, hitting us for 100 HP. King Shield, of course, continues wasting time, but at least we gain back some HP guaranteed as we hit Muddy Water. The accuracy drop, I believe, is what made Iron Head miss. We hit Dragon Pulse and take it down with a decent amount of HP for once. Caesar is last, and we use Muddy Water, which misses, and X-Scissor hits hard. We use Dragon Pulse, and another X-Scissor brings us to yellow, as we land Muddy Water to finish off the last of the Elite Four. Diantha, the champion, is last and sends out Hawlucha first. We use Dragon Pulse and it goes down. Next out is Aurorus, and we hit it with Dragon Pulse as it sets up Light Screen. Another Dragon Pulse is enough to take it down. Her own Goodra comes out, and we continue using Dragon Pulse, and it returns the favor. Another Dragon Pulse later, and it goes down. Tyrantrum, a pretty cool Pokemon, comes out, and we use Dragon Breath, and it hits us hard with Dragon Claw. Thankfully, Light Screen wears off, so even though a full restore is used, we're able to take it down with ease the next attack. Gourgeist is up, and we use Dragon Breath to paralyze and bring it to red. Phantom Force is a move I haven't actually seen used before, and it's really cool looking, but does very little damage. Next, she uses full restore, and we bring it back to red and paralyzed again with Dragon Breath as another full restore gets used. We bring it to red again, and a final Dragon Breath takes it out. Gardevoir is last and immediately Mega Evolves as we smack it with Muddy Water to lower the accuracy. Moonblast connects and another one will take us out, so we keep using Muddy Water to try lowering accuracy. The next Moonblast misses and she heals up. From there, we lower its accuracy again, and when it's close to red, we smack it with Return to knock it out and win the game, and get a first try victory against the champion, which rarely happens. So, this run was... oh yeah, we also take out AZ. Anyway, this run was a lot more challenging than I thought it would be. I had a good feeling it would be rough given how squishy Goomy is, but I really thought that Goodra would end up destroying most of the competition, but that is definitely not the case. Next week's challenge, I'm not 100% sure, but I think if I'm playing my cards right and I'm scheduling and editing properly, I think it's going to be about time to visit Pokemon Emerald. We're going to try to beat Pokemon Emerald with a single Hitmonchan, because why not? It sounds like it's going to be horrible. The reason I say might is because, as I did say earlier, I do try to work on a couple different videos at once, but as always, if you like the video, even if you didn't like the video, think about hitting the like and subscribe button because it really does help me out. Leave a comment on what type of Pokemon run you would want to see next. Join the Discord. Join Twitch. You know the drill by now. Until next time, everybody, peace out.